Okay, so you've downloaded our aircraft handling mods, and you've downloaded our localizer mod as well. At this point, you may be asking yourself, why do my landings suck? I mean, my approaches are sloppy. I can't adjust to the center of the runway in time. And even when I finally do get that perfect lineup, I always either slam into the runway or I touch down too late and end up having to do a go-around anyway. Well, for you, I've got some good news and some bad news. And some good news. The good news is, these are real challenges and real issues that real student pilots and even established pilots face every single day. The bad news? It'll take some practice nailing that perfect landing every time. Luckily, I may just have a solution for this, but before we get into it, let's talk about landing for a second. What makes a good landing? Is it buttering the bread? Is it turning off the runway as soon as possible? Is it navigating those complex crosswinds? Well, if you ask Flight Simulator X, Flight Sim 2020, or X-Plane, then they'll tell you it's based on your ability to touch down smoothly. In other words, buttering the bread. But is that true? When you think about it, there's so many occurrences prior to a landing that it isn't fair to assume that the touchdown is the most important or the only thing we should be rating. Introducing our first ever server exclusive, the TOLA. The TOLA stands for the Takeoff and Landing Assistant. And at least right now, it has one goal: to score you on your consistency during the last, and most important, phase of flight: final approach and touchdown. How does it work, you might ask? Well, using some magic and basic math, the TOLA is able to identify your position relative to an ideal approach and scores you based on everything from approach deviations to touchdown smoothness and positioning on the runway. Well, what if I just so happen to cross the approach path without necessarily trying to attempt a landing? Now you're asking the right questions. The localizer has the capability to disregard any landing it finds to be unrelated to a given approach on a runway. But what about when I need to perform a go-around? I thought you'd never ask. Because go-arounds are a safety procedure, we never really punish you for exercising caution, even at the risk of points. That being said, any go-around will be cancelled, allowing you the chance to try again without affecting your final score. With the TOLA, you'll not only rack up score on each touchdown, but you'll also have immediate feedback on your performance during landing, which you can use to improve your next landing. We're currently in the process of converting this to a client-server model, but soon this will be the basis of earning XP. More on that later. Finally, we'll leave you with some shots of pilots landing, after practicing with the TOLA, of course. Enjoy. As always, thanks for watching. More to come on our server soon, but for now, we'll see you in the skies.